A new Independent Lens documentary is headed to PBS, focusing on one of the country's most embattled police forces in America. Titled The Force, the film takes us inside the Oakland Police Department, exploring how officers there are dealing with calls for sweeping reforms in light of incidents and protests in Ferguson, Baltimore, and beyond, ushering in a new era of transparency and accountability. Let's take a look.
This is the fourth shooting by the Oakland Police Department.
Can a troubled police department win back the public's trust?
We're trying to fix a local problem.
Are you gonna be the cop that people talk about, the dirty cop?
Behind the blue line, nothing is black and white.
Hey, it's running right now, whoever's coming towards me. One police officer can have an impact on this whole country.
The Sundance Award-winning film,
We have to get this right. It's too important.
The Force.
Joining me now is The Force, Behind the Force, filmmaker Peter Nix. Peter, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Why was it important to make this film?
This film is actually the second in a trilogy of films, or at least a trilogy, maybe a series of films examining the grand narrative of one American city, Oakland, California. And we began that journey with our film, The Waiting Room, in 2012, that looked at the issue of access to healthcare through the lens of a public hospital, Highland Hospital. And as that film finished and went out into the world, and we started contemplating, what next, we noticed that there was the tenor and the urgency around the conversation about police accountability, and that relationship between police and community was reaching a fevered pitch. And there would be value to going inside a police department at this moment in time to understand what is it like for a police department to have to cope with that question. And this was a police department under active reform. They were under federal oversight due to past civil rights violations. And so that was really the central question is, what does it look like? What does reform look like inside an American police department at this moment in time?
What did you get the sense of, from having had the access that you had to the police department, of the changes that the actual officers wanted? Was there a sense of, we want to change the way the community views us, or was this a sense of, we're being forced to make these changes so we're complying?
I think it's a very good question. It's a very dynamic answer to that. The force is made up of it's an institution, but it's made up of a diverse collection of individuals who come from a whole variety of backgrounds and personal experience, different races, gender, and I think you can find different opinions within the department amongst the ranks of officers relating to this question of accountability as sort of the agenda being pushed by Black Lives Matter to some degree. We found a surprising openness to our presence in there, because I think this was a department that because they were forced to reform under the federal, the negotiated settlement agreement after the Riders case in 2000, they had made a lot of progress, and they felt that they had a story to tell. And when we entered, we told them that we are not in here to sort of pass judgment. We are not in here to make a commercial about the OPD. We just want to see and understand, what is it like? What is your world like? What does this process look like from the inside?
What was what is, I should say, will be one of the more surprising things that viewers who aren't familiar with police officers on a personal level might learn from this? So often in the media, a police department is sort of painted as one monolith, but as you were explaining, there's a lot more there.
I think all sides of this issue are painted in two dimensions. I think cops, on people's Facebook feeds, are flattened out into a two-dimensional portrait. And I think activists, protesters, people who are fighting for justice are also oftentimes sort of portrayed in stereotypical or two-dimensional ways. And that really is at the heart of that distrust between cops and community. I think cops, what we found was a lot of cops who were trying to do the right thing, or at least in their mind, when you confront them with questions of racism or implicit bias, there is a bit of a disconnect. They don't see themselves individually as part of a problem, and I think that is really that was really the question of, like, how do you connect, the idea of, where does that distrust come from? Where is that anger from the community coming from? And getting the officers to understand, at least to some degree, sort of the context of that anger. Their actions and their day-to-day is something that most people don't experience, and sort of what they're facing. And so we, as filmmakers and as observers, we got to experience that. We got to enter that point of view. And it was a very visceral and a very actually surprising experience for me the first time I was in a police car rolling around through East Oakland. Just that gaze that came through that window from the community was one of distrust, anger, hostility, and you really felt that.
Wow. Is that one of the big takeaways that you want people to come away from this film, is what it's like to actually be on the inside of the force?
I mean, I think it's one of the things. I mean, one of the sort of value propositions of our work at Open Hood, which is my production company that's doing this series of films, is to try to reframe these very divisive issues in ways that people can see each other for the first time in ways that they hadn't before on both sides of contentious issues. So that activists can kind of get a reframing of police officers and vice versa. But, fundamentally, we were trying to understand the nature of reform. How difficult is it to reform a police department? What are the barriers to reform, both individually and institutionally? What is needed moving forward, because we have a major question before us around this idea of community safety and the role police play in that. Moving forward, is our system broken? And so we want to try to answer those questions.
Listen, Peter Nix, thank you so much for joining us on the program, and definitely for giving us this new film, The Force.
Thanks so much.